Hey, Daddy.
And we're back again this week. Heinzie's making huge stuff ups already. This is the second time we're recording this. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're brand new, please hit that subscribe button. It really, really helps us grow this amazing channel. We got Ranger here. How are you, brother? Hope you're all well, man.
Did you just preload a recording?
Maybe I did. Okay, moving on to everyone's favourite unicorn. Our boy Estillo. How are you, brother? What's going on? Sup? We got everyone's favorite. Vegas pimp. Everyone's favorite Vegas pimp, Loki. How are you, brother? Hot stuff there. Have a look. Channeling is into Mr. T.
What's up?
And we got Grid as well, who's losing his mind right now. Hang on, Grid.
What's up?
I love it.
I could have done it too. I was like, did you just preload the video? What the hell is happening?
I made a mess of it, but anyway, we're back on track. We've got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. We're going to start it off with a meme competition that we've been running. We run it every week. We pinch a picture. Generally, it's one of us, and we look really, really stupid. We get everyone to jump into the Discord server. The description is below. Add your own caption using the meme generator. Whatever you want. The winner gets a Gridsy t-shirt every week. Last week is epic. After this video, we're going to go and decide who the winner is of last week's. Estillo's background. If you can duck for a minute, mate, this is this week's picture. This is the one that we're using this week for our boy Full Grid Rage. So, guys, get to the Discord server. We'll be putting this up in the Discord channel. There'll be a channel there called Meme Competition. Get in there. Put your entries in for a free Gridsy t-shirt to the winner of Grid's choice. So it's going to be absolutely epic. But fellas, let's get down to it. We've got a fair bit to talk about. There was a post. Let's start it off with Iden Versio. Sorry, let's start with Iden. She's hit the game, Ranger. Everyone's favourite outed exposed beta tester.
The old infamous beta tester.
You've had some fun with this little lady, I assume, in the lead up, mate. Pretty happy. Pretty happy.
Yes, she's very, 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 very good. Where she really stands out is with the other troopers that are left over, right? She does well with the normal troopers. Don't get me wrong. You can do some fun things with her, but I mean, she really shines with the leftovers, as I like to call them. And she's dope. I really like her kit. I think they did a great job. Being a bit of Battlefront 2 junkie and all those years I streamed Battlefront 2, I played the hell out of Iden and Heroes versus Hero Action, and they nailed the abilities, and they've been really doing a good job of capturing not just Iden, but these other characters and their abilities to give you a feel for the character from other games or wherever they're from. And she looks great. Her kit's amazing. She's really good. So yeah, I'm very impressed with her. I've had a lot of fun testing her out, and I think you guys are going to like her a lot.
I like it. Estillo, your thoughts, mate, with Iden dropping into the game? Have you unlocked her? Is she something you're going after, brother? Are you a bit of a fan?
Yeah, I unlocked her. She's sitting at, I think, 3 or 4 star right now. Low gear because obviously saving for Boba. But yeah, something I definitely want to work on. I've been sort of looking at her versatility and what she can do and what she can't do. Obviously, for now, I don't think she can really beat the up there meta teams that are non-GL, but I think she can definitely beat some teams that are maybe a lot cheaper to take out.
I like it. Loki, your thoughts, brother? What do you think about Iden, mate? Bit of a fan now she's dropped and hit?
She's fantastic, man. I mean, just to add to what Ranger already said, she, especially with your kind of roster, Heinzie, my kind of roster, you stretch her out. You got the junk troopers that have been sitting on the bench. They make a very good team now. There's that big synergy list that CG put up. Every one of them is good with her. She is also complementing the Veers trooper team. On a stream earlier, they showed that she was good with the trooper counter to Lord Vader. So I mean, she's a huge win. If you need those counters, and that's what I'm going to use her for in GAC is to again stretch out my defense and make other non-viable tunes viable again. They've been sitting on the bench. So super excited for.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Grid, your overall thoughts, mate, with Iden? I mean, visually, she's spot on. They've nailed it in the game. I think that it looks absolutely brilliant. It really does. And mate, she's going to pack a punch.
Yeah. So I mean, first thing, obviously, I have to respond with sup. No, I think she looks awesome, and it's cool how she's kind of fit into this kind of middle ground. Some characters join the game and you're like, I need to put her with my best teams and I have to use her right away. And then other times you're like, oh, I can just kind of throw them somewhere. I don't know. I'll use them somewhere, maybe, type of thing. It's nice that Iden is kind of a middle ground where for top end players like yourself and Loki, you can use that to be a better counter towards, Lord Vader or Sith Empire or whatever it is. And for some middle ground players, she comes into the realm of being able to be used with, these really leftover Imperial troopers that otherwise you have 100% no use for. All of a sudden you kind of have a team that's coming out of nowhere. So I'm really excited with her introduction to the game. I'm going to level her up just minimally. In all honesty, I'm not going to star her. I don't know. I'll get her to, maybe like gear 7, gear 8, gear 9, gear 10 type of range to maybe, I hope to be able to use her with my leftover troopers, but, I really like what she's bringing to the table. She looks really awesome. I was right. Cubs, you were wrong. There we go.
Don't forget that.
Just had to say it.
Just gotta
I remember
Right.
Cubs did say that, didn't he? Didn't think I was.
Cubs said Iden is not coming to the game, and I say,
I remember. Yes, and I
Kiss my
remember
ass.
watching that, and I was just sitting there like, with my mouth closed, like, keep talking, Cubs. You're going to be 0 for 3 here soon with these.
and you can
whatever.
verify. Ranger, I am not a tester. I had no idea.
You're not.
That is purely based off of the tweet. And I was like, that'd be cool if I didn't join the game. So I throw
you
my
just legally do your
at you.
tickets, then you sort of know what's happening in the games because you log in more.
Oh, just another day at the office where Grid is telling Cubs to kiss his ass. I love it. It's fantastic.
Just another day at the office.
That's a win for everyone, not going to lie. Guys, we got a post from our boy Doja that's gone around, of course. There's been some changes to the Omicrons, to Qui-Gon. We knew that there was a problem there. We knew what was going on. There's no refunds for the Omicron. They're not going to give it back to you. That's it. If you put it on, it stays. That's the word down the street. So Ranger, I was talking about. I know
Yes, sir.
Grid's not a fan, but Ranger, you kind of saw this coming, mate, and you're okay with it, yeah?
I said it since they put that post out weeks ago that this was what they were going to do. I told you that they were going to change it. Now, I hadn't put the Omicron on. I just put the Omicron on today because it's still a destructive Omicron, especially on offense. Qui-Gon will nuke some teams. Now, I can't kill GLs. Was never intended to kill GLs. Now, I don't know what translated from when we first looked at him until we got to, it happens all the time, from when we test something until it gets into the game. Strange things seem to happen with these kids when they get into the live environment. But, the thing that I saw a lot of players doing is once they saw or heard that Qui-Gon could do all this crazy stuff, then they started putting it on. And I was warning them, because I get asked, should I put the Qui-Gon Omicron on? I'm like, don't do it. I'm telling you, CG is going to change this, and I'm just warning you. And so, it's not like this just came out of nowhere. I've been saying it for weeks too. Like, if you put it on, just be aware that it's going to get some changes. It's not working as intended. And if you really think they're going to keep that kind of damage on GLs, and I saw it firsthand when I first looked at it, I'm like, let me just go face this Qui-Gon team with my JML, and okay, they're all dead. Okay, that's not good. Okay, I don't think that's the way that's supposed to work. Then I don't know what to tell you. So, yeah, it doesn't shock me at all. It doesn't shock me that they're not going to give refunds on this one. I could see the argument if you put the Omicron in before the post, like you did it, and then the post came out, then I think you have a legitimate argument saying, okay, yeah, but when I got it, this is what it was first intended for with the way it was worded. So that would be a legitimate argument. But anybody after that fact to put it on, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you saw the writing on the wall. When they put those damn posts up, you should just, the warning sign should go off in your head that something's coming down the pipe.
Yeah. Estillo, you agree, brother? You pretty well the same sentiment as Ranger, or not?
Well, I kind of am. I mean, they should have maybe tested a bit more, but all in all, I think the overall function of what the Omnicron for Qui-Gon Jinn should have been reaching was reached. A refund, I wouldn't be against it, but knowing myself, I'd just chuck it back on because, like Ranger said, offensive capabilities as well as defense capabilities, you're going to use either the really good teams that you already have to use to take them down, or you're going to use a gel. So you're still, to a certain degree, getting what you effectively want out of the Omnicron already. I would keep the Omnicron on him no matter what. Fair enough.
Loki, your thoughts, mate? Same sort of thing or not? What do you think overall with that? Are you all the same?
No, I mean, I got, I got message as well. And people were asking me about it. I said, I personally have not done it. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not yet. Cause I feel like there's probably better ones for GAC, but, I think the big one, or at least the uproar that I've been hearing is, people accepted that, if you put a GL on the team, then the savior mechanic of Qui-Gon Jinn was turned off, but the offense was still good to go. And, I didn't fight the team, but I was always worried if my opponent was going to put a Qui-Gon Jinn lead with Jedi Master Luke, because it almost guarantees a 2-shot if you don't take a GL against it, right? Or even, dude, I saw people failing with Sith Eternal against it. It's a pretty bad, it's a badass team. I'll tell you that right now.
That is a disgusting team. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what happened was people are upset because they took that provision away as well when they originally said they weren't going to do that. They said they were just looking at the offense when Qui-Gon Jinn dies and then he buffs the Jedi team, right? But to take the Omicron completely away, in my opinion, is they altered the deal. But again, at the end of the day, it says Capital Games on the building, and we're playing their games. So if they want to give us a refund, that's on them. And I think people shouldn't be upset about it, but I can see why people do want a refund, because they went one step above and took the entire Omicron away. If there's a GL on either side. So that's a big change.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Grid, your thoughts, mate. I mean, I'm kind of of the thought that so many people invest in this Omicron and they are so rare still to attain unless you're buying packs everywhere. I just think that it would be, and as you said, the majority of people will put it back on, but I think having the choice to do that, I think that would be a better way to go. But that's my thoughts. Grid, you think that, what are your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of I don't want to say as strong of a word as sleazy, but like it's kind of a shady move. Like that wording was very specific. I mean, really all they did is they took the one sentence that was in the middle of the Omicron, they put it at the beginning. And that feels like a correction that should have been done way before. Like that, I don't know. If anybody's played like Call of Duty Warzone, that happened every season. They would say, "Hey, here's a new gun," and it was the best gun in the game, and everybody knew it was broken, and everybody went and bought it. And then you fast forward a couple of months, and then they say, "Okay, the gun is broken, so we're gonna change it." And you're like, okay, so you just baited everybody into buying it, because even though you knew it was broken, we had to use it because it was so good. And I can't imagine that any amount of testing would have been like, yeah, this is fine as it is, leave it as it is. Like you had to see, they're all about protecting the investment of Galactic Legends, which is fine. There's no way that they didn't test this like against a Galactic Legend. We're like, oh wow, you can beat Galactic Legends with this. I don't know. I feel like a refund would not be out of order. I feel like if they were to do a refund, I'd be like, cool. I might still put it back on, in all honesty, because it still is a good team that if you don't know what you're doing, it can seriously mess you up on if you put it on defense. And can beat some seriously good teams on offense. Like I put out a video not too long ago of Qui-Gon Jinn beating CLS. They just happened to hit Qui-Gon first, then my Anakin wiped their entire team. It was awesome. So I might still put it on, but I feel like that's a little I don't know. I feel like that could have been handled better than just be like, yeah, we're gonna change it. So now all of a sudden, Galactic Legends, which are a huge part of being like, wow, Qui-Gon can beat SLKR, or at the very least leave SLKR alone. Like, that's huge. And you're just gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna get rid of that. Like, that's a massive part of that Omicron. So I feel like a refund would be in order. Again, I would probably still put it back on, but I do think this is a change that warrants a refund, in my personal opinion.
Fair enough. There we go. Straight up, that's their thoughts on that. Guys, we got an interaction change coming. Yeah. SLKR with the sisters.
Can I take the reins on this one?
We knew this was coming. We knew this was on its way. They mentioned it months ago. We knew that there was going to be a change here. I'm hoping they don't change SLKR too much. I really do. But yeah, Grid, SLKR is your baby, mate. You're a big fan of SLKR. You made a clip on it. That's how much you love it. So, mate, it would make sense to talk to you about it first, and then I'll spin around everyone else if you don't mind. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, look, absolutely. I do not think I cannot think of an interaction. Somebody feel free to correct me, but I can't think of a single interaction. If your sentence starts with X Galactic Legend beats Y Galactic Legend, I don't care. It's a Galactic Legend, dude. I just invested 6 months plus, and then in order to beat some other random Galactic Legend, I have to come up with kind of some cheese interaction. Dude, SLKR solos C. Are you kidding me? JMK solos pretty much most Galactic Legends. And you care that SLKR with some Night Sisters beats Lord Vader? Imperial Troopers beats Vader. Why do you care? Sorry, that's all I wanted to get out. I don't know why they care that a Galactic Legend in any composition can beat another Galactic Legend. I don't get why they care.
It's definitely been
that's all I have to say on the matter. I don't care if any Galactic Legend beats any other Galactic Legend. That is a Galactic Legend for 6+ months probably of investment that you can beat another Galactic Legend. That should be fine. I don't care. So I don't get why they're paying any attention to SLKR with this kind of Night Sister interaction that's being another Galactic Legend. I don't.
Loki, you agree,
I
bro?
don't know why anybody cares.
Same sort of thoughts, Loki, or what do you think about the changes they're going to make, mate?
I mean, I don't use the counter. So I mean,
I don't either. For the record, I don't either.
Yeah,
I just don't know why they care.
It pulls a Galactic Legend out. I mean, I think Troopers is worse, in my opinion. But the argument I think we're seeing is you can't. Okay, so like Troopers, right? You can probably mod a certain way so you can outspeed the Troopers, right? And do what it needs to do to block that Trooper counter. But I think the issue is you can't mod Lord Vader. You can't put pieces in the team to actually block this counter, and maybe that's why they're concerned. I don't know. I'm just, again, I'm in a territory war focused guild, where Heinze, you mod your Lord Vader team to the brim, brother.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. We put all the best mods probably on that team. Should we care? I mean, me personally, I don't care, but there's other players out there that probably care about it because the Lord Vader team with Maul is a huge investment. And to be able to underman it, with old characters, maybe that's just not something they want. And I understand it. I personally don't care. I bring up the same argument like Rey, the Rey counters with C Watt. I think it's pretty much the same thing, but apparently, they don't treat it that way because they've kept C Watt in the game forever.
Yeah,
and it's acceptable.
Well, sorry, finish. If I could interject just very quickly after Loki, but finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that goes down a dangerous path, in my personal opinion. Like, if you're gonna start saying like, oh, a Galactic Legend beats a Galactic Legend, we can't have that. It's like, okay, so hang on. So you're gonna nerf SLKR with some Night Sisters versus Lord Vader. What about C Watt versus Rey? What about Rey versus most SLKRs? What about JMK solo versus C? What about SLKR solo versus C? I feel like it goes down kind of a dangerous path where you're just like, let's start nerfing galactic legend interactions with other galactic legends. I feel like that goes down a dangerous path, in my personal opinion, just like you're saying.
Yeah, the last thing I'll close on, I'll pass it over to Ranger, is for me, if I face an opponent that I know does this counter in GAC, I'm perfectly fine with that because I'll tailor my defense to where you need either C Watt or you need to SLK or Watt. You know what I'm saying? And I'll use that to my advantage. I really don't care. But we'll see what CG does. I hope they don't touch SLKR. I hope they go the easy route and maybe just disable zombies unique or they do something because they've been doing that a lot, right? With the new character kits is they'll have like Aiden, right? Aiden has everything in her kit says if the troopers are not a leader and non-droid, like they are not shy anymore to exclude a lot of stuff. Like Star Killer, he only works if you have these tunes in the team. They're not scared of doing that anymore. So I'm curious to see. I hope that the nerf is not to SLKR himself. I hope it's to the other tunes. And I'll pass it off to Ranger.
Yeah, cool.
Right now.
And I'll come to you after that, Estillo. I'll ask you in a sec. Ranger, sorry, mate, you go.
Yeah, so I think the problem is not that this SLKR versus whatever GL, right? The biggest problem, and it's been a problem in this game since the beginning, is the zombie mechanic for the Night Sisters. That's been the problem. And it's a little different than, say, C Watt. When C Watt goes in versus Ray, Watt's going to die. He does his one thing, and then, it's not very beneficent, but you do get through Ray, although you can get stomped by Ray. This one, and this is not the first time that zombies reared her ugly head, right? The DACA zombie kind of combination where it's not like any of these other kind of things. You make a great point, Loki, about the kit not being specific. It doesn't have a specificity where you look at zombie, she just keeps coming back and back. And the other problem is zombie taunts. So when the AI only targets zombie, it's a counter that is like super cheesy. It really is. Now, I don't have a problem. I mean, SLKR, these other teams are legit because, the character goes there. There's not this mechanic where the AI, because they set up the zombie to be in a way that the character's taunted. A lot of times they go for the taunter, right? It's just the way the AI thinks. So they either have to improve the AI to think. They've had to do this before, like with JMK and some other things that was happening. But the zombie mechanics itself has got to change. This is a bigger issue. It's not SLKR. It's not GL versus GL. It's zombie. They have really got to go in there and redo this kit. Like if you look at B1, for instance, right? It doesn't taunt. It has a certain amount of stacks. Once it's dead, it's dead. It's different than zombie. Zombie just keeps coming back and keeps coming back and keeps coming back and keeps getting that taunt. It could have one health and it's still going to have that stupid ass taunt. And so they've never really addressed the actual issue of what's the issue. Is it SLKR? No, SLKR is fine. He doesn't need to be dick with. Is it the other GLs? No, they don't need to be dick with. It needs to be zombie. The DACA zombie combination, they have got to do something about it. And until they do it, just like with the raid, the Sith raid and that nonsense and everything else has been a problem with DACA zombie. We're going to continue to have this issue over and over and over again. And the players are not stupid. And I don't fault any player for doing this. If you see a combination like this and you're going to take advantage of it, you should take advantage of it. That's the way the mechanics are set up. And until CG addresses the elephant in the room, we're going to keep having the discussion. How many times we talked about DACA zombie? Really not SLKR. It's more about this stupid DACA zombie, and I'm tired of it. It's like CG, redo the kit, fix it in a way that is not, it can't be taken advantage. Just look at it, and then we don't have this issue anymore.
Mm-hmm. Estillo, your thoughts, mate? Curious to hear your thoughts as well. So what do you think, bro?
It's actually good listening to all of this. So two things I basically want to bring up. The first is I'm a kind of person, and I think we all kind of are. We all want to understand how kits work and how we can interact with them the best way. I cannot, for the life of me, understand why CG would want to change this. And I can get all points. And the second thing I want to bring up is I think CG has to be very careful in how they continue with this, because if they will, every time they see something like this and they say, we're going to change the kit so that the wording is right, like we see now with the Qui-Gon Jinn, doesn't work if GLs are on the teams. And let's say if they do for the Night Sisters, if there's a non-Night Sister character on the team, or if there's a non-Jedi, I think CG has to be very careful, because if they always say it can only be with specific factions or specific tunes, then they can do this for everything in the future. I think they now have to be very careful in that they do not overdo this over a shorter period of time, just changing counters for certain factions. Because, like Grid said, the interaction with gels beating gels, I think that's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It's a counter that was made, and that's how it is. I mean, it's not a back door. Not everyone has the counter, but if the counter's there, we should use it. And as long as it's not extreme, then I don't personally see the problem with it either.
Fair enough. No, absolutely.
The original idea, rewind to Slkr and Rey. The original idea of Galactic Legends was being able to utilize these extremely powerful characters with your entire roster. Like, that was the original idea, that Rey can be used with pretty much any light side character. She does better, yeah, with resistance, but you can use pretty much any light side character with her. Slkr, C, JML, JMK, Lord Vader, they're all the same way. They do better with their faction, but they've always had the selling point of being able to benefit your entire roster. So even like that old, you guys remember the C cheese with Sith Assassin being able to beat JMK? Yeah, it's kind of cheesy, but like, that's still a galactic legend.
Yeah.
You are telling me you are so worried about, because again, let's pinpoint the nerfs that we've seen has been primarily JMK with C and now Lord Vader with Slkr. We're talking about the tier 2 Galactic Legends versus their newest, shiniest toy with Galactic Legends. I don't like that. I think all Galactic Legends should be on an even field. Sure, some are better than others. C obviously has an extremely anti-Jedi synergy. So of course C is going to do better against Jedi. And of course Slkr does better versus C because his interaction relies on being able to link people. So of course a solo Slkr can do better against that. Like, of course there's these interactions. I just can't fathom when a Galactic Legend is in the equation that you're like, we don't like that. I still spent months and months and months and months to get that Galactic Legend to barely beat a Galactic Legend. And you're going to tell me I can't do that? Like, dude, it's not like it's some easy walkthrough. It's not like I'm getting great banners. It's not like this is some awesome, easy thing. I'm still investing in like a Relic Daka. I'm still investing in that entire team. That team takes up a Galactic Legend, Slkr, Watt with the tank tech on Slkr, Zombie, Daka, and then sometimes even Armor or another character in there. You're going to tell me that's a problem to beat one Galactic Legend? I don't like it.
Filthy.
I'm so frustrated. I can't believe they're even contemplating that. Honestly, I'd be happier at this point if they just said, you know what? Lord Vader's a piece of and we're going to take him out of the game and redo his entire kit because it makes no sense with the lore and it makes no sense who he is. So we're going to just, all right, sorry guys, here, Lord Vader's gone. Here's a new kit. He's way better now. Like, I can't believe they're even like contemplating changing this whole interaction. Like, oh my God, it's a Galactic Legend beating a Galactic Legend. Why do you care?
Yeah,
so
that's right. And but it comes down to the thing that I've seen anyway, I reckon, over the last 6 months, and that's just been a huge hit to theory crafting counters and teams.
Massive.
I mean,
oh my God.
That to me is certainly been something that I've noticed and many others.
I don't have the toys that you guys do. I'm at 7 million GP. I don't have all the Galactic Legends. I don't have every character in the game. I don't have everything that you guys do. I have to rely on mods, strategy, and a little bit of cheese to try and maybe get through some of these top end characters now. I'm not allowed to theory craft anymore. And I swear to God, every time I make some freaking video, they're like, we're going to change the interaction. I'm not saying it's my fault. Of course it's not. But like
It's
by
your
the
fault,
time
yeah.
I discover something that works, they're like, we don't like that. I'm like, God, what am I supposed to do? I can't even like try.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Loki, do you think the same thing, man? I mean, you guys are the top of the game. Like, are they kicking theory crafting in the nuts, or what are your thoughts?
No, man, I think theory crafting is a thing. I mean, especially GAC, man. I mean, the change of GAC basically made me think a lot more. And yeah, I think theory crafting is what it is. I'm with Grid on this, man. I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying, brother. I mean, look what they did.
Yeah.
They before Lord Vader came out, they nerfed, Jedi
Darth
Knight
Vader.
Luke. They've nerfed Darth Vader. They nerfed Thrawn. They nerfed everybody, right, to prepare for this. But it sounds like it's not done yet, right? According to what you just mentioned. And I totally agree with you, man. But I think theory crafting is still alive. It's you gotta think outside the box, really outside the box nowadays.
Yeah, we're getting
And sometimes
really outside the
no, and
box.
sometimes, even with GAC right now, I'm theory crafting 2 shots because I'm gonna lay all my GLs on the table. I don't care at this point. You don't have to clear to win. You just gotta get enough points to win, right? Yeah. So what's gonna stop me from laying all my GLs down and then I got a 2-shot all yours? I don't care. So that's a good bulk of theory crafting right there that's been untapped, I think, until now. Everybody wants to 1-shot everything, but that's not, I don't think where that's heading, man.
But
I think everything's gonna
but that's
eventually
not
get
theory
2-shotted,
crafting as such. That's more strategy, though, right? I mean, that's more,
You still got to think of the team, man. I mean, you can send in something to take 1-2 now, but if you can theory craft a team that can take everything out, but the solo GL and then clean it up, I mean, that's theory crafting on its own right there.
No,
in
you're
my
right.
opinion.
No, you're right. No, you're right. As always, you're right.
I feel like it's to piggyback off of that, the theory crafting still exists. We do still see it. But I mean, theory crafting in general, I mean, you can rewind as far back as you want, a couple of years of what theory crafting was. And at first things were a little bit more, I don't know, maybe obvious, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, JKR, JKL versus SLKR, that can make sense. You have this really high stacking damage. You're immune to stuns. You're stacking all sorts of stats. You can kind of control things as you move along and blah. The theory crafting started, rewind as many years as you want. And as they continually narrow down the field of what theory crafting is, things will become then exponentially more, just like Loki just said, way outside of the box. Because now instead of using this kind of like, a JKR, JKL versus SLKR, or some kind of combination with C versus another galactic legend, now we're crossing all sorts of factions. And now we got SLKR with zombie, Night Sisters. We've obviously seen that before. SLKR with Night Sisters isn't an unheard of concept, but now it's becoming more prevalent because it allows you to beat things like Lord Vader. And then you had to use like C with a terrible Sith assassin. And then that was kind of this really weird counter to JMK. The more they try and, sort of corner us into, no, these counters don't exist, I feel like consequently, the more outrageous counters might become, if that makes sense. Because then you're going to be, it's a drowning person reaching for anything,
Yeah.
You're going to grab whatever you can to hopefully be able to counter something. So you're going to start digging and digging, and who knows what on earth is happening. And now we have things like Imperial troopers with Shock T. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's where theory crafting is taking us, because we're getting so cornered that you can't just be like, oh, Imperial troopers together can beat X, Y, or Z thing. Yeah. Now you're like, okay, I guess we're going to have to do Imperial troopers with Shock T. And I'm going to have to use SLKR with Night Sisters. And I'm going to use C with my absolute trash Sith Assassin. Or the more they're trying to focus us in or corner us, I feel like the more extreme some of the theory crafting is going to become, which then turns into a cycle. And they're like, we don't like the interaction of Imperial troopers with Shock T. we don't like the interaction of Slkr with Night Sister, so we're going to stop that. And then you're going to be like, okay, well, we can't do Slkr with Night Sister. So you know what? Let's do Slkr with Galactic Republic. And you're like, what? But like, who knows? Like, that's what theory crafting, that's the essence of theory crafting, is coming up with a team that maybe on the surface doesn't exactly look like it might be there, but finding the components of their kit that work together to achieve a result. And unless you're just like death to theory crafting, it'll probably find a way to bypass what you're trying to do. So just let us do it. Don't try and do all this crap that stops us at every other turn. We'll find a way.
Yeah.
But like, God, is it frustrating? Just please stop.
Fair enough.
Just let us play the game.
Cool. All right, let's move on from this. We need a breath. Can
I say one more thing? Just
sure.
I think the theory crafting is alive and well, because here's the thing: when I look at my Bad Batch team, right, it's not just Grievous counter. I use Bad Batch for a lot of things. When I look at Imperial Troopers,
I need to stress eat.
Oh, you're not gonna share your.
I have to stress eat right now.
Yeah, pass some over. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
When I look at Imperial Troopers, I'm like, I can take out Darth Revan, but if I don't need it to take out Darth Revan, I got these other teams. So that's where I kind of think theory crafting is as well. It's not just pigeonhole to one thing, right? I have Slkr, but where do I want to use Slkr? I can use it in a multitude of facets and different teams and setups to beat different stuff. Just same thing with Imperial Troopers, right? Some teams I'm a little bit more pigeonholed in, but say for instance, I typically use CLS for gas, but if they say they didn't put gas in on defense, I'm like, okay, now where can I use gas? It's got a multitude of different teams that I can go up against with that team. I think as we get more teams, we're able to do, now we still have to adjust, right? With the addition of Talon, right, into the game, I've had to up like my Piet's speed a little bit so I can still outspeed the team. I can still use Imperial Troopers versus Darth Revan. I can use Imperial Troopers against Night Sisters. I can use Imperial Troopers here. So I think the theory crafting is there. It's more about, like for me, like I don't even use Watt for C, I'll be using armor. For me, Watt goes on my Maul team on defense, right? So that's a different use for Watt than typically people put Watt with, but I like that. I like the different scenarios where I can look at it. I can think about, these are the teams I have for offense that I typically like to run. What are the teams I can beat? So I don't think theory crafting is completely dead. I think GL's kind of,
for the record, I don't think it is.
Right. I think that there's a lot of teams that you can use in different scenarios depending on what you have. Now your roster is a little different than mine, or Crack and Loki and the Aussie over there. But, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about that stuff all the time. Like when I'm looking at GAC, especially with the way the match has been, I mean, I've been facing people with 1.4 million GP. I got to think a little bit outside the box and what I'm going to use if they put certain teams on defense. So, yeah, I think it's still alive and well. And I think it's the GL thing, again, I still think it's the zombie. Fix damn zombie and then leave the rest alone. I'm with you 1,000% on that. Let us theory craft and I think we'll be good.
Sweet. I like it. Guys, we got Boba about to drop, a couple of days away. Grid, you going to get it? You going to get Boba in Conquest or not? You going to get there?
No, I'm a Conquest or two behind. I'm about to unlock Maul.
Cool.
I won't be getting Dad Bod Boba for a long time.
Fair enough.
We'll just leave it that way. I'm not much of a Territory Wars person personally.
Yeah.
And I know Dad Bod Boba is a Territory War, I mean, frankly, God.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm focusing a little bit more on GAC. I'm focusing a little bit more on characters of that resort. I want Boba. Yeah. I will be getting him eventually, but my sights right now are still on Maul.
Fair enough. Loki, I'm not even going to ask you this question because I know the answer is yes. You've got Conquest all tied up and done, mate. How long did it take you?
I took my time on this one, man. I mean, I was done. Actually, I finished it today. I was just taking my time, but yeah, I'll have Boba on lock. I got about 74 Omicrons right now, so I'll have the 3 ready for him, and then have another one left over for probably GAC or something. But yeah, when you're in Territory War Focus Guild, man, that's what they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
They laid it out and they said, you better have them. And I'm just like, sure.
Absolutely. So yeah, so you've done it with 2 days left. So there's just over 2 days at the time of recording this. Yep. So you finished it with 2 days to spare. Astillo, How are you looking for Boba? You got Boba all sorted, mate?
Yeah, I've definitely. I think I finished GSC 2 days ago.
Or Conquest?
I mean, yes, sorry, Conquest. Yeah, it's 5 a.m. Sorry, guys.
It's hard to take you seriously with a unicorn onesie on. I'm just saying, it's pretty difficult, you know.
I'll have Boba, so I'm not really too concerned. I've got the Omni saved as well.
All three?
Nearly. I think I need like 2, and then I've got 60. I'm not quite sure.
Nice.
But yeah, I'll be interested to see how he works because I don't actually have Fennec done yet. She's not 7-star, and I believe that in some way, shape, or form, Boba and Fennec will work very well together.
Mm-hmm.
As I've already heard a little bit or read. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm hoping that maybe one other character will get a rework for Boba.
Which one?
That's my own hope.
Which one?
Gamorrean Guard.
Oh, Gamo. I like it. Ranger, again, mate, same story. I assume you've got Boba all locked and loaded. Yes, no, maybe?
But yeah, I mean, I'm not getting the red crate. I don't need it. I'm getting to like the 603 mark just to get those 2 Omicrons. I don't really need to go. I mean, I'm well past the point because I had gotten the 999 packs, so you get those extra shards. And if you buy them out of there, I mean, this Conquest, I didn't even think about it. I'm like, let me just do Conquest here, do Conquest there. Let me just get these feats done. I'm not worried about the feats. I have a few to knock out, and then I'll have him. But he's not a priority. There's some other characters that I'm trying to finish up first. I'm about to try to go big hard on Star Killer. So I got Talon and I got Dash to finish up, right? I've got the other 2 squared away, but I just got to get those 2 done. So a little bit more priority there because he is a TW. He's gross in TW, and I think he's going to be really good in GAC. The team I'm thinking of with him is Boba Fett, Fennec. You throw Zam on there with her Omicron, give him that extra speed, and that team gets going. That payout's only 10. It could do some damage in GSC, especially on defense.
That will be a lot of fun. Absolutely spot on. And to wind this one up, guys, of course, we need to ask our boy Ranger, mate. Obviously, everyone's a famous exposed beta tester. I assume there's other things in the works at the moment, mate. Any sort of, is there some cool stuff coming or not? Yes, no, maybe.
I hate you so much, man.
Why?
God,
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
God. There's always stuff coming up. Yes, I know all about it. Will I say a damn word? Not a goddamn word, Heinzie. I won't confirm or deny the existence of any character or ship or anything in the game. I can neither confirm or deny the existence of. So there you go.
Are you happy though?
Yes.
Are you?
All right. It sounds like the Raptor capital ship is coming to the game. Let's go.
I can neither confirm or deny that story.
Your Honor, I like it. I like trying to grill him. It's worth a shot. It's a lot of fun just watching him squirm.
Douche,
It's so good. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Comments below. Let us know what you guys think. Of course, hit the subscribe button, please. Give us some thumbs up. Thank you, Ranger. Thank you, Astillo. Cheers, Loki. Thanks, Grid. Absolute bunch of superstars. We're doing this live, of course. Galactic Legend Heinzie Twitch channel. Get over there. 10 p.m. Eastern. We always have some awesome guests on. Talk about some really, really cool stuff. So we'll see you next week. Love you guys. Thanks. Bye.